Hi, Jeffrey. How you doing? Good to see you, man. How you doing, bud? Okay. Okay. Cool. Okay. Cool. Thanks, man. Cool. Right. Got 2 minutes away. So, Steve, when it shows that it's up, oh, that's what. Okay. That's where.
So usually it'll give me a countdown.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yep. Yeah. We'll probably go on when the national anthem is playing.
We're on.
Right, good evening and welcome to Warren Central High School, Warren County Public Schools Sports Network, courtesy of Prep Spin, Mike Cleff, Steve Sanders. We are just moments away from the playing of the national anthem and the starting lineups. And Steve, we've got a couple of moments here before the national anthem. We'll get more into this, but this is one heck of a matchup that we're going to live stream tonight.
It is. We've been waiting for a couple of weeks for this to happen. We've seen both these teams. South Warren as late as last Friday, and we saw Greenwood the week and Warren Central the week before that. It's going to be a great game.
All right. Now we're going to have the national anthem, and after that we'll have the starting lineups.
Featuring the visiting Spartans of South Warren High School and your Warren Central Dragons. At this time, fans, we ask that you please rise, remove your hats as we honor America by the playing of our national anthem.
Again, we're standing by for the playing of our national anthem. You're watching and listening to the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network, courtesy of Prep Spin. Mike Cleff and Steve Sanders. Okay, now it'll be time for our starting lineups. Tonight's game between the Dragons of Warren Central and the South Warren Spartans.
And now it's time for your starting lineups. First for the visiting Spartans of South Warren High School. Starting at guard, 6'4" senior, number 0, Brandon Rowe. Starting at guard, a 5'9" senior, number 1, Andrew Foley. Starting at forward, a 6'2" senior, number 2, Justin Posey. Starting at guard, a 6'2" senior, number 23, Andrew Linhart. And at forward, a 6'3" junior, number 33, Braden Parrish. The head coach for the Spartans is Carlos Corals. And Starting at guard, a 6'5" junior, number 4, Kay Ansel. Starting at guard, a 6'4" senior, number 0, Marwaka. Starting at guard, a 5'11" senior, number 1, Isaiah Bellaforte. Starting at guard, a 6'3" senior, number 13, Omari Glover. And at forward, a 6'4" senior, number 21, Chappelle Whitney. Head coach for your Dragons is Will Unsett.
All right, those are starting lineups. And Steve, going into this game, we both agree the start of the game is important for both teams, but it's just crucial for South Warren, isn't it?
It is. You know, unless something falls out of the sky, I would expect Warren Central to put on their pressure fast and furious tonight. Early on, we've seen it before, and you know, it's important for South Warren to weather this early storm. It's coming.
Yeah. The head coaches tonight for Warren Central, William Unseld. For South Warren, Carlos Corals. Unseld's been the coach for the Dragons for several seasons. Corals in his first season. We'll talk more about the respect and admiration and friendship those two head coaches have as the game gets rolling. So thank you so much.
Central gets the tip.
And that is Isaiah Villafuerte handling the ball for the Dragons.
It's important for South Warren to rebound tonight.
Yes.
You know, they can't give up. They can't be one and done on the offensive end, and they can't give up a bunch of extra shots on the defensive rebound again.
Well, and Steve,
like that,
you're a prophet. You're a prophet. 3 shot attempts there. So now South Warren will get the loose ball. Go ahead,
what
Steve.
kind of pressure that Central puts on here. Here they come.
Yep. Full court right away.
They're going to trap at every opportunity.
And the Spartans get it across to beat the 10-second deadline. And now the Spartans are in their half-court offense. See how good these two teams are. Their combined records this season, 31-3.
Yeah,
South Warren 14-2 and Warren Central 17-1. Go ahead, Steve.
Not bad at all, is it?
No. Okay. Shot attempt, and that's a good start. Braden Paris, the triple.
That's the best possible start for South Warren.
Paris does a lot of nice things for Coach Corals. There's Cade Unseld hitting the 3, and we had a South Warren player. It was Andrew Goley. His shoe came off, so the refs called quick timeout there, and he'll get his shoe back on. Yeah, Steve, as I mentioned, it's not just respect between Coach Corals and Coach Unseld. They are close friends.
Very good friends, and that's kind of nice to see in our area. You know, two coaches that are exceptional coaches to begin with, but good friends, and I'm sure we've learned a lot from each other over the years.
Make no mistake about it, though. They want their teams to win badly.
Somebody's going to win tonight, and somebody's going to lose.
Yep. We'll also talk about the unique scheduling situation between these two teams. It has to do with our live stream schedule as well. That's Brandon Rowe with the ball for the Spartans over to Andrew Goley.
Right. In all reality, this game's going to be about 8 quarters over the course of 3 days.
Exactly. Steve just alluded to the fact that the rematch between these two teams will be on Friday night at South Warren. And there's Chappelle Whitney with the steal. He goes in.
That's something that South Warren can't do tonight is make passes that give Warren Central, they're so athletic, give them the opportunity to jump those passing lanes. There's a turnover.
Just take it in there and Yep. And good hustle there by Whitney, but he was out of bounds when he saved the ball. Steve, I'll tell you what, you're part psychic with what you just said there, those 2 steals. And the other thing is, when Warren Central converts a basket, they can set up their full court pressure.
Right. It's very important to get that rebound to keep Warren Central from setting up that full court press / trap. Because, again, they're going to trap at every opportunity like that.
Yep. And Brandon Rowe down on the court. Now South Warren will retain possession. It's good to see Andrew Linhart back for the Spartans tonight. He missed Friday night's game, the South Warren's win over Greenwood. Bryce Button started in place and had a nice game.
Bryce had a good game that night, yeah.
So Linhart will inbound with Omari Glover guarding the inbounds. Rowe kicks it over to Justin Posey. That's long, and there's Glover with the rebound. And here come the Dragons. And, boy, I tell you what, Steve.
They get up that court in a hurry, don't they?
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of players on the Warren Central team that I like. High on that list is Chappelle Whitney, number 21. So is number 4, right. Kate Unseld.
Yeah, both these teams have a lot of talented kids on it.
And they're both very unselfish.
You know, while the score doesn't reflect a lead for South Warren, they are holding up under the storm right now.
Yep.
And the longer they can get, the more they can turn this game into more of the speed they want it to be.
There's the turnaround shot by Demarion Walkup. It's a little bit long. There's Whitney. That's Chappelle Whitney being Chappelle Whitney, right. Steve, and it's 7-3 Dragons. And there's Andrew Linhart getting it over to Andrew Goley. Brandon Rowe, nice pass. Oh, it's just a little bit long. Oh.
Still a good opportunity, though, and if they keep being patient like that, it'll come back.
Yep. Walk up, no. Rebound, Brandon Rowe. Here comes Rowe, bringing it up court. And now Warren Central will have that half-court trap. And we got
they're going to want to trap. Anytime you're at half court and dribble to one side, to one of the end lines, they're going to trap you.
Our superintendent for Warren County Public Schools, Rob Clayton, is here tonight. Great to have him in the building. Appreciate the great hospitality by Warren Central principal Joey Norman. Steve's known him for a while. Really good guy. And athletic director for Warren Central, Jason Esters.
Good crowd tonight. We've had the opportunity to talk to several family members and just talk sports, which is what you and I love to do. And always like a good conversation.
Had a chance to say hi to both Coach Unseld and Coach Corals before the game, along with Coach Unseld's longtime assistant coach, Cedric Gum. And it was kind of funny, Brandon Rowe's dad, who Steve and I know, Marcellus Rowe, he's a bus driver for Warren County Public Schools. Done
great
for a
guy.
long, oh,
great guy.
Very good bus driver. And Marcellus has a good story. Oh, boy.
Man.
Justin Posey gets a good look at it.
That's all right, though. I mean, they just got to hold the course.
Yep. And
because to be honest with you, Central's missed some shots, and South Warren's done a pretty good job on the offensive and defensive rebounds, especially defensive rebounds. They've got to try to limit Warren Central's shots.
That's.
But Mike, we're more than halfway through the first quarter, and it's a 2-possession game.
And again, we thought the first 4 minutes, South Warren's got to be happy where they are. They're not in the lead, but they're
in this ball game. And in close. There's a good pass right there.
The Dragons get the steal, and
they have quick hands.
Yep. Omari Glover. And
Coach
we'll keep it here.
Timeout.
Yeah, you kind of sensed Warren Central can turn 2 points into 8 very quickly. Yeah. And I think this is one. I don't think Coach Q is upset. I just think this was one to settle him down a little bit. You mentioned, Steve, they're getting good shots.
Getting really good looks.
Marcellus Rowe had a good story. That's Brandon's dad who we were talking to. Marcellus played basketball in high school against Cedric Gum, or he's played a lot of pickup basketball games against Cedric Gum. Marcellus graduated from Bowling Green High School, and I asked Marcellus, I said, how good of a basketball player Cedric Gum? And Marcellus says he can hoop. He is really good.
I bet Marcellus got some hops in his time, too.
I think so, too. Yep.
He's another one that's about 3 feet taller than I am.
So South Warren, Marcellus' son Brandon inbounds the ball. He gets it over to Andrew Goley. Bryce Button is checked into the game for the Spartans. He had such a nice game against Greenwood Friday night. And I'll take the blame there. I jinxed Bryce as the ball goes off him out of bounds. And so the Dragons. As Steve mentioned, these two teams will face each other again Friday night, which we'll live stream. That game will be at South Warren. And another thing with the schedule, Steve, we live stream the Warren Central Dragons' first home game of the season as Unsteld goes up and connects. It's 11-3.
Man, he elevated fast.
Oh, yes, he did. And, Steve, they haven't played a home game since that game we live streamed. This is only their second home game of the season.
Man, they're going to have a home cooking second half of the season. Nice move.
Yep.
Man, just couldn't get it to connect.
Nope.
They're getting some really good offense and getting some good looks. They just got to hold the course. They're going to get one to fall here.
And that is a nice pass from Demarion Walkup to Chappelle Whitney. It's 13-3. You just feel like, Steve, I think the reason that they've missed some close shots, it might be that it's a bit of nerves.
Well, you're anticipating the challenge to that shot.
Yep.
For good reason. I mean, Warren Central challenges everything.
Ooh. Right there, it looked like goalie might have almost had the loose ball. Instead, it's Walkup that gets it over to Villafuerte. Checking into the game is Tavion Wells for the Dragons. There is a three-pointer by Villafuerte. It's a little bit short.
Good rebound for South Warren.
Brandon Rowe bringing it up court. He's double-teamed by Whitney and Wells. Now they got to help him out, and goalie gets it over. They got a wide-open Justin Posey.
Good job.
Yep, Justin Posey with the layup. Good pass by goalie.
Yep.
Spartans needed that bucket.
Hold the course, you know. Again, it all started with a defensive rebound to keep Warren Central from pressing them quite as close.
And Demarion Walkup was wide open under the basket. Whitney found him, and it's 15-5. And, Steve, this should tell you something. South Warren's got
nice move.
Oh, very nice. Yep,
yes,
there's
nice
Brandon Rowe. 15-7. We're just about to hit the 1-minute mark in the first quarter.
That kind of move right there is what causes a team to have to relax the press a little bit.
Villafuerte's three-point attempt is long.
Defensive rebound for South.
Here come the Spartans.
You know, Rowe coming up the middle of the court with the ball seems to have been working a little bit better.
I think one thing that
he's very athletic, so it gives him the opportunity to see the entire court in front of him.
And, you know, he's their best ball handler, Steve. And what is Brandon, 6'2"?
Yeah.
I mean, that helps. He's one of your taller ball handlers. And that really is an advantage when trying to face this Warren Central pressure. Justin Posey checks out. Coach Coral's giving him a breather to end the quarter. We have 33 seconds left. Warren Central leading 15-7. There's Tavion Wells down to Cade Unseld being guarded by Rowe. That's a terrific matchup.
Good matchup right there.
Yep. Wells, a good hustle, but they said he was out of bounds.
Yeah. Rowe and Unseld, two tremendously talented kids.
Want to thank our sponsors, Med Center Health, UK Healthcare, and Minky Beef Jerky. We'll be hearing from a couple of them coming up here shortly. And checking in there for South Warren is Luke Smith. That's Linhart. The pass down low to Button. Nice pass, too. And that is a bucket. That is Wells Bratcher with the bucket. Nicely done, and that's the end of the first quarter. South Warren gets it back within 6. 15-9. We'll take a quick break. Mike Cleff, Steve Sanders. You're watching Warren Central and South Warren boys basketball on the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network.
Kids deserve the space to grow, to play, to explore. And if they get sick or hurt, they deserve a hospital devoted to them. This is our promise, the most advanced care possible, with doctors, nurses, therapists, and surgeons who specialize in getting kids back to simply being kids again. We are UK Healthcare's Kentucky Children's Hospital. And for us, the power of advanced medicine is more than saving lives. It's saving lifetimes.
I can't.
Have some Mingy.
This is a Mingy moment.
Welcome back to Warren Central High School. About to start the second quarter. Warren Central leading South Warren 15-9. Spartans, though, getting 2 late buckets to end the quarter. And, Steve, I think that has to do a lot for the Spartans' confidence.
Absolutely. You know, Warren Central's missed several shots, and South Warren's held their ground on the defensive boards, and that's helped in 2 ways. It helps keep that press a little bit back off of you, and it limits Central's scoring opportunities, which is always going to be good if you're facing them.
2 Warren Central players who have checked in. Caden Hammer, he wears number 15, along with Malik Jefferson, he wears number 2. And no surprise, William Unseld going deep into his bench early in the game, as he usually does. So the Spartans get the ball, leading by 6 early second quarter. Mike Cleff, Steve Sanders, Warren County Public Schools Sports Network, courtesy of Prep Spin. There's a nice drive and a hoop. Omari Glover. Steve, that's just hard to defend.
Right. I mean, it was good defense, but, I mean, it's just they have such good athleticism. They elevate, you know.
Button going to go to the line for 2. Good sportsmanship by Demarion Walkup. You know, one thing, Steve, these players know each other well, and you can tell a lot of respect among the players on both teams. So Bryce Button, who had such a really nice ball game on Friday night. Of course, he's the starting quarterback for the Spartans football team. And that is a free throw that Bryce Button will try to erase from his memory very quickly. Steve, we've all done that. We have all done that.
Just pull back just a little bit right at that release.
Yep, just a little bit short that time. You can tell he's got good form. So here comes Chappelle Whitney. He kicks it over to Walkup.
You know, if you're South Warren, you want to force Warren Central to go into their half-court offense. They love to get out and run. They're athletic. They get to the rim. If you can force them to run their half-court offense, it's not that they don't do that very well, but it's just not what they prefer to do.
And Steve, when they're in their half-court offenses, Walkup will go to the line for a couple free throws. I don't know if you've noticed this. They love to backdoor cut.
Right.
And if you can take that away, you're right. You really take Warren Central's biggest strength in their half-court offense. Walkup hits the first free throw. Caden Hammer checks back out. Villafuerte comes in for him. Hammer is a 5'8" junior point guard and gives Coach Unseld quality minutes off the bench for Villafuerte. As Walkup hits both free throws, it's 19-9.
See that press come back down the court a little bit off that made free throw.
You know, Steve, not just is it physically exhausting to go up against them, mentally it just wears you out as well. Rowe with a nice pass over to Luke Smith, I should say. Luke Smith.
Might have been one too many passes there.
And the steal. Sorry about that, Luke Smith for South Warren. That's Chappelle Whitney over to Malik Jefferson. He wears number 2. Omari Glover, of course, he was a standout for the Dragons football team.
Nice pass.
Wow. So unselfish.
Good vision.
Chappelle Whitney with the hoop. Such an unselfish team, Steve. Here's Rowe. And there's the pass to Bratcher. Nicely done. Steve, you feel like when they get the ball in the lane to Rowe, he's such a good passer, and he's a threat offensively.
Well, and they have to respect him.
Yep. So here comes Rowe, gets it up court to Button. Button the pass over, and
you just got to be careful making that cross-court pass. They are in the passing lanes.
Yep. There you go. Alley-oop, Glover to Jefferson.
But South Warren's doing the right thing, you know, forcing it back up the court.
And Steve, and they're going to get a charge there.
Yeah.
They're
That's
all
right, though. You know, they're being aggressive. They got a charge that time, but they need to continue to be that aggressive.
Omari Glover drawing the charge. You know, Steve, this should tell you how good Warren Central is. South Warren, we're talking, they've done a lot of really good things in this game. They've handled Warren Central's pressure pretty well.
I'm really impressed by the way they've handled the pressure.
And you look up the scoreboard, and the Dragons have the ball, the 12-point lead.
Yep.
that just and they really haven't gone on one of those big runs that we've seen them do this year.
No, I think you can look at 3 or 4 shots down in the paint that South Warren just couldn't get to fall. You know, if they fell, you'd be looking at a 4 or 5 point game, which is really where South Warren wants to be. They want to be in striking distance.
Unseld in the lane, and he gets tied up by Rowe, and the arrow is going to be Warren Central. Good call. I'm really enjoying that matchup when Brandon Rowe is guarding Cade Unseld. And the Dragons will inbound. It's Isaiah Villafuerte. Underneath to Chappelle Whitney. Goes out of bounds off South Warren. So Villafuerte will inbound it again. He throws it over to Glover. Glover, what a nice spin move. Wow. But goalie gets the rebound and gets it out to Linhart, and here come the Spartans. 23-11, Warren Central leading with 4:50 to go in the first half. Nicely done.
Good look. Really good shot there.
Andrew Linhart with the hoop for the Spartans.
Really nice movement, and they got a really good shot out of it.
They certainly did. Whitney, the nice inside pass to Unseld. No. That's
South Warren still doing a great job on the defensive boards.
Justin Posey with the rebound. And Steve mentioned Spartans doing a very solid job on the boards, defensive boards. Unseld with, after Posey gets a good look at it, Unseld gets the carom and brings it up court. We're nearing the halfway mark of the second quarter. The Dragons have a 10-point lead over the Spartans. Looks like we got a foul here, and they're going to call Brandon Rowe. Checking back in for South Warren is Braden Paris. He'll replace Wells Bratcher. Not many fouls in the game so far.
No.
Oh, boy. Wow. What a nice inbounds pass from Villafuerte to Glover for the hoop. 25-13. Dragons of Warren Central leading the Spartans of South Warren. Goalie kicks it over to Paris. The three. No.
Good look.
Saves it back out to Paris. Good effort by Posey. There's goalie. Nice scoop shot. Good.
Really nice move. You know, South Warren, you know, they're well coached. They've got a plan.
DeMarion Walkup with the three. You're right,
nice
Steve.
Nice shot.
They're doing some, yeah.
Good, nice answer to South Warren's move.
Posey, they're going to call a block foul there. It'll be a ball taken out of bounds. Each team only has 3 fouls in the, I believe that's Warren Central's third team foul. Yes, each team has 3 fouls, so we're not close to the bonus. Coach Corals thought it might have been in the act of shooting, but the officials say it was out of bounds. Coach Unseld, of course, was an assistant under Hall of Fame coach Tim Riley. The court, of course, named after the legendary Dragons head coach. He led Warren Central last year to a second-place finish in the Sweet 16 state tournament. They were within 1 possession of winning the whole thing. And again, the reason it's only their second home game, Steve, is he really powered up their schedule. They've earned that 17-1 record. And the Dragons doing a nice job inbounding, and they're going to get Brandon Rowe for walking there. Kind of one of those, Rowe wasn't sure whether he should go for a shot attempt or pass, and came down with the ball. So 28-15, Warren Central leading South Warren. Mike Cleff, Steve Sanders, Warren County Public Schools Sports Network, courtesy of Prep Spin. Many thanks to Prep Spin's CEO and co-owner, William Warfield. They're going to get a foul. They're going to call that on Justin Posey.
Well, that move's hard to stop.
Oh, it is. And 2 free throws for Cade Unseld. Cade's first free throw is a little bit long. Steve, what do you think of this game so far?
Well, you know, the score's a little bit wide, but it's a really good game. Cade's not going to be happy with missing 2 free throws. You know, the game is better than the score shows right now.
Wow. Extra effort there by the Dragons, and it results in a basket by Malik Jefferson. It's 30-15. Yeah, the way the Spartans are playing, Steve, you don't feel like they're down 15.
No. They're making some good things happen.
Here's Rowe being guarded by Glover. Nice move. Wow, what a
and that's a good example of it. I mean,
that shows you the skills of Brandon Rowe. Here's Jefferson over to Unseld. Unseld thought about taking the 3, instead drives it. Follow is no good, and Posey gets the rebound and gets it over to goalie. There's Brandon Rowe again. Rowe kicks it over to Paris. Rowe gets it back to goalie, and we're under 2 minutes to go in the first half, 1:48 to be exact. It's 30-17. Warren Central leading South Warren. And Andrew Linhart driving against Unseld. Warren Central once again playing very good defense in the half court.
But on the other side of that, South Warren showing some good patience.
They are.
You know, they're hopefully not going to settle for a shot. They're going to try to keep working the ball around until they get the shot they want.
Rowe for 3. It's short.
It was a good look.
Paris with a good hustle gets the offensive board. Linhart. Yes, Steve, South Warren is not forcing shots. The ones they're missing, that's what they cannot afford. Here comes walk up. Oh, boy. South Warren caught a break there. Here come the Spartans. Rowe will go up for the 3. No. Good hustle by Posey, getting the offensive board.
I think Coach Q's got to be happy with their effort on the boards.
I agree.
And vice versa. Coach Unseld's not going to be pleased with his men's effort on the boards. They're getting out rebounded.
33 seconds left in the first half. Warren Central with the ball with a 30-17 lead. Unseld being guarded this time by Posey.
Good defense.
Kicks it over. That's Malik Jefferson. No, it's Tavion Wells. No good. And the Spartans, and they're going to get a travel there. And so Warren Central will have the ball with 17 seconds left. And a 30-17 lead. South Warren has led this game once, and it was after the first basket of the game, a 3-pointer by Braden Paris. Since then, the Dragons have gained control of the lead and stretched it out. They've led by as much as 15. But as Steve has mentioned, the Spartans have done a lot of positive things in this game. But the Dragons have just done more positive things. Glover, no. There's Whitney with the rebound. He turns around. Wow. Yeah. Steve, he is just hurt. Yep, that is one tough shot by Chappelle Whitney, and his buzzer beater gives the Dragons a 32-17 lead at the half. Steve, what did you think of the first half?
Well, again, you know, the score is not indicative of the effort that South Warren had. They just, quite frankly, had several shots that didn't fall. If I'm Coach Q, I like my guys' effort on the boards. I really and truly, we don't have the stats in front of us, but I believe that South Warren may be out-rebounded Warren Central. And that's not a stat I necessarily thought of. It's a good stat. If they can pair that up with getting some more of these shots to fall, you know, they're still in this ball game. I thought they handled the pressure, Warren Central's pressure, early. I thought they, quote, weathered the storm like we had talked about. And if you notice, that pressure didn't all go away, but Warren Central didn't trap quite as much later on in that first half as they did early on. Early on, they're trapping everything. So South Warren's efforts caused them to have to play a little bit better defense all around, all 5 players, instead of automatically trapping somebody. But what do I know, Mike?
Oh, no, you know a lot, Steve. That's why we're glad to have you. It's 32-17, Warren Central leading South Warren at the half. We're going to take a break. Steve and I will come back to talk more about this matchup and also what we're going to be doing the rest of the week. You are watching the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network, Warren Central South Warren Boys Basketball, courtesy of Prep Spin. We'll be right back.
I can't.
Have some Mingy.
This is a Mingy moment.
Kids deserve the space to grow, to play, to explore. And if they get sick or hurt, they deserve a hospital devoted to them. This is our promise, the most advanced care possible, with doctors, nurses, therapists, and surgeons who specialize in getting kids back to simply being kids again. We are UK Healthcare's Kentucky Children's Hospital. And for us, the power of advanced medicine is more than saving lives. It's saving lifetimes.
Girls like you aren't runners, they said. Well, I wasn't.
Let's go ahead and get some pictures of that knee, okay?
6 months, down the drain. Give up
Keep the rhythm going.
or
Perfect.
get up.
Looks good. Good, we're gonna take it up.
Who's not a runner now? I am proof of the power of advanced medicine.
Don't forget to pack 5 pairs of clean underwear.
Okay, Mom.
What's wrong with these? I think we're gonna need a bigger suitcase.
This is a Mingy moment.
Welcome back to Warren Central High School, where at halftime, boys basketball, the Dragons are leading the Spartans of South Warren 32-17. Mike Cleff and Steve Sanders. Very quickly, want to make an announcement about Warren Central Athletics. Their Hall of Fame class of 2023, they're going to recognize them at the girls-boys basketball doubleheader on January 28th, or 27th, excuse me. And, Steve, we are going to be live streaming that game.
We will. We'll
Yep.
get to see that.
Yep. So, and the class is Butch Canty, a basketball coach, Glenn Ford, Greg Raymer, who played baseball here, John Shannon, who played football, David Southern Sr., and the 1993 4x200 state championship relay team consisting of Charmaine Drake, Tanisha Jackson-Bailey, Chastity Martin, Cameron Ray, and Nanika Alexander. The official induction ceremony will be on Saturday, January 28th at the Warren Central High School Auditorium, but they'll be recognized in between the girls and boys basketball games on Friday, January 27th. Warren Central that night hosting Greenwood. Well, speaking of schedule, our next live stream will be Thursday. We're going to be at the Aquatic Center for a swimming meet, and we'll give you the time on that. Steve and I will be doing that for the first time. So kind of a trial by fire, and we look forward to that. And then Friday, Steve, here's where we get to the schedule thing that's unique, is we will see these two teams again 3 nights from now as part of a girls-boys basketball doubleheader at South Warren, with the Lady Dragons and the Dragons visiting the Spartans and Lady Spartans. And Steve, again, you know, I think that it's just unique. But if I'm South Warren, you mentioned it, they have to feel like, even though they're down by 15, that they very well could be within 5 or 6 if they converted on some point-blank shots. They don't look intimidated one bit.
No.
They played well.
And they, you know, again, there's parts of this game that they're winning. They're winning the battle of the boards.
You are right, yeah.
You know, they're playing good deep. Warren Central is a hard team to defend. They have such a quick first step. They can get to the rim. They're not afraid to go to the rim. I'll tell you something else that I noticed in that first half. It was a pretty clean first half. There wasn't a lot of fouls. The flow of the game was not interrupted a lot with fouls. every now and then, we had a little stoppage in the action, but by and large, I mean, we're looking at a 32-minute half, and that's a pretty quick basketball game.
Neither team got into the bonus. I believe each team had 4 fouls, team fouls in the first half.
We only saw maybe 3 or 4 players go to the line to shoot free throws. Everything else was just a possession on the sideline.
So we're about 3.5 minutes away from the start of the second half. Steve, I think you alluded to it. South Warren did a great job on the rebounding. On the Warren Central side, Steve, they just have some players that they converted shots, and it's just a credit to Warren Central that they're so good that even when they're defended well, and the Spartans have defended them well, they still convert shots. I think of a couple of.
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but if I'm Coach Unseld, I want to tell my players you need to be more aggressive, and that's not usually an issue that Warren Central has. They're a really athletic and aggressive, trapping team, but they need to win the battle on the rebound end. They need some second shots, and they need to limit South Warren's second shots. They're not doing too bad on the defensive boards, but they're allowing South Warren to take away their second shots on the offensive end. And I'm not Coach Unseld, but I would imagine he's not thrilled with the limited number of second shots right now.
Chappelle Whitney hit a shot to end the first half, a buzzer beater, and that gave Warren Central a 32-17 lead as we're a couple of minutes away from the start of the second half. So again, Steve, like we said, the first 4 minutes were crucial for South Warren. I just feel like by the end of if they can get this game to 8 or 9 points at the end of the third quarter, I think their confidence is going to be huge. I think they're going to feel good, and again, they handled their pressure well. You said it again, that their rebounding has been good. And the other thing is, Steve, they didn't let Warren Central get on one of those 8-0 runs or 9-0, 10-0 runs.
Where they're out on the break and they're from one end to the other in about 2 seconds, and they're ending it at the rim. Warren Central did get to the rim a couple of times with some nice drives, but, they forced Warren Central to go into their half-court offense, which, nobody's going to pronounce our half-court offense bad, but, the percentage of shooting in a half-court offense is a lot less than the percentage of shooting when they're dunking it on the break.
Warren Central last Friday night, on the night South Warren was defeating Greenwood, when Steve and I live streamed that game, Warren Central was at Bowling Green, and the Dragons posted a victory there. Again, South Warren came to tonight's game with a record of 14-2. Warren Central entered tonight's game with a record of 17-1. We're about ready to start the second half.
Let's watch Cade Unseld in this half. Let's see how he wants to exert himself. And I would say the same thing for Brandon Rowe. Let's see how he wants to exert himself too. Brandon's a really selfish player, but he had the opportunity to go to the rim a couple times. That may need to be the game plan.
Unseld was guarded by Brandon Rowe a lot in the first half. That was a fun matchup to watch. And the Dragons have the same starting lineup that they had to start the game, which is Demarion Walkup, Cade Unseld, Omari Glover, Isaiah Villafuerte, and Chappelle Whitney. And for South Warren, they've got the same starting lineup as well. Brandon Rowe, Justin Posey, Andrew Goley, Braden Paris, and Andrew Linhart. Again, Linhart missed last Friday's game with a minor injury, and again, great to see him back. He's one of those glue players, does a lot of the nice under-the-radar things for Coach Corral's team. As we've talked about, Coach Corrals and Coach Unseld, good friends, and both very competitive. So they'll be good friends after the game, but during the game, they want their respective teams to win.
Each coach wants the W.
I think I've heard the analogy, Steve. You and Laura have 2 sons. They might be close, but when it comes to competition, they want to kick each other's tails. Yep. So Linhart will start with a 3, and but Paris gets the rebound. Linhart will try again. That's a good start, Steve. It's a good start. So here come the Dragons, and Steve mentioned he's curious what Unseld will do. He goes right to the basket.
Yep, going to get a charge.
Okay. Well, right away, that's Unseld's second foul in the game. But, Steve, you mentioned it. Unseld took it right to the basket. And, of course, now Warren Central applying that pressure, which South Warren did a pretty good job of dealing with in the first half.
Right, they did that too.
Yep. Right there, nice pass. Oh, boy. What a pass from Andrew Goley to Justin Posey. Yep.
Best possible start for South Warren.
Back-to-back hoops, and they're within 11. So Chappelle Whitney gets it over to Unseld. Whitney posts, guarded by Paris. Unseld, the three, no. And as Steve mentioned, Spartans continue to do a nice job on the boards. Posey with the rebound. And the Spartans can get it under double digits. Paris will try three, no. He's got a good touch from three-point range. That's a good shot.
That was a good look.
Yep. Here comes Villafuerte, the runner. No, it's long. Rowe with another rebound, and here come the Spartans. Goalie, spin move, nicely done. And they've scored the first 6 points of this third quarter. Coach Unseld likes to see his guys work through adversity, so he doesn't call a timeout a lot of times in this situation. You want to see how his guys deal with it, his players. Of course, Coach Unseld's son is the gentleman handling the ball right there, Cade Unseld. Glover, nice pass inside. Whitney, no. Rowe with another rebound. Third quarter, Spartans have come out on fire. Nice pass down low to Paris. Basket, nice block by Unseld. What a play by Unseld. Gets it over to Walkup. Wow. What a shift in momentum there, Steve. I think the basket will go. Yep. Wow. Paris has a good look down low, a really nice defensive play by Unseld. He gets a partial block, gets it out to Walkup, and there's that transition offense, Steve. Walkup will go to the line with a chance to convert the three-point play. That was a big sequence there, Steve.
It was.
Walkup converts the free throw, and it's 35-23 with 5:40 to go in the third quarter. Malik Jefferson is at the front of that full court pressure by the Dragons. He's checked into the ball game. He played a lot in the first half.
I was going to say, good move. Call timeout.
Yep. Called a timeout before he got tied up. We'll keep it right here. It's 35-23. Warren Central leading South Warren. Mike Cleff, Steve Sanders. Want to thank our sponsors again, Med Center Health. Big thank you to Med Center Health. We'll have an announcement about their sponsorship coming in the near future. We'll let you know about that. Also, thanks to UK Healthcare and Minky Beef Jerky. Want to thank our leadership with Warren County Public Schools. Superintendent Rob Clayton, he's here tonight. Chief Operations Officer Jason Cupcella and Chief Financial Officer Chris McIntyre. Steve, I'll tell you what, wow, what a swing that was. South Warren had a chance to cut it to 7. Cade Unseld makes a very nice defensive play, leads to a three-point play by Demarion Walkup, and the Dragons are up 12 again. So Brandon Rowe will inbound for the Spartans. And
look for Posey also. There we go.
Goalie. Goalie being guarded by Walkup. You just never get a chance to get a break when you're playing against Warren Central's defense. Goalie with a nice move. Paris, the three. No. There's Jefferson with the rebound over to Villafuerte. Unseld. Yeah, I think they're going to get him for a travel, Steve. Yep. So South Warren will get the ball again. You know, Steve, we had
That's
South.
what I would look. Rowe,
Yep.
you know, there again, he's so unselfish, but man, I'd love to see him take that one to the rim.
Yep. I'll finish my thought when we get a breather here, Steve. But that's a great point you made about Brandon Rowe. Nice move there by Lenhart.
Right there.
Yep. It's a
That's what I'm
10-point
saying.
game.
You know, take it right at them. Sometimes the best offense is to go right in the teeth of that defense.
Yep. There's a three-point attempt by Walkup. No. It's going to go off of South Warren. Point I was going to make, Steve, we had South Warren early in the season, and we were talking about everyone felt that Carlos Corals was a great hire for South Warren, and he's just proven that to be the case. I think you see the stamp on this team, Steve. They're so unselfish.
Yes. They play very well together.
As does Warren Central. And I think they're going to get a foul on South Warren. Jefferson on his follow attempt was fouled, and they're going to get goalie on that. It'll be 2 free throws.
Andrew Goalie is second, team second. At the line for Warren Central, number 2, Malik Jefferson.
So it's 35-25. The Warren Central Dragons leading the South Warren Spartans. First free throw off the mark. 4:32 to go in the first quarter. We'll run down the various options. You can watch our live stream. You can go to prepspin.com. Also, the Facebook and Twitter pages of PrepSpin. Second free throw, no. South Warren with the rebound. You can go to Roku or Fire Stick TV, look for PrepSpin. Go to our website, warrencountyschools.org. Nice drive there by Brandon Rowe. And you can also go to WBKO.com. Look for the sports page and PrepSpin. And Steve, back to right there. You're loving what Brandon Rowe just did there.
Right. Take it right at them. You know, if they foul you, they foul you. You have to make your points at the free throw line. But, you know, they have the talent and the skill.
So Rowe get a couple of free throws. First one's good. And the Spartans are back within 9 with a chance to cut the deficit to 8. Again, 2 outstanding basketball teams matching up tonight. And they'll face each other again 3 nights from now, and we'll be there. And, well, that's that's frustrating for Warren Central. You get the defensive rebound, you step out of bounds.
His balance was going the other way. He
Yeah.
made a good rebound, just couldn't help stepping backwards.
Good. So South Warren has the ball, 35-26.
It's a new wrinkle. Let's
Dragons
see.
leading.
You know, Whitney's being they're going to double him.
Yep. Nice save there by Linhart. Gets it over to Rowe. Being guarded by Chappelle Whitney. Pass inside to Button. Button goes up. Oh, just a little bit too hard off the glass, and I think they're going to get a foul. Yep. Good sportsmanship by Button and by Wells Bratcher. Checking to make sure Villafuerte's okay. Nothing, just a hard basketball play there. Good basketball play, good effort. Again, you can tell the players on each team really respect each other. Hasn't been a lot, you know, they're just playing hard. Wow. Chappelle Whitney is strong, Steve. Yeah. He's really strong. And here's where Coach Unseld likes to take a timeout after a made basket. 3:49, we'll keep it here. Warren Central leading 37-26. Steve, I've really been enjoying this game, and I really look forward to the rematch as well 3 nights from now.
It is. It's a really good matchup. It's everything we thought it'd be. And listen, there's still some moments here where, you know, I don't know that South Warren can't make a run at this thing.
You feel like, Steve, you know, when they got that stretch where they could have gotten it to 7.
Right.
That
would have been huge.
Yep. But Coach Unseld talks with his team, as does Coach Corals. Steve, I'll tell you on a personal level about Coach Corals. You know he's waited for quite a while probably to get a head coaching opportunity.
Right.
And you're just really happy for him. And not only are you happy for him, you know, he's taken advantage of the opportunity in a big way. And, you know, Coach Unseld, he's just typical Coach Unseld. Great every year. So here come the Spartans, doing a good job dealing with the Dragons' pressure. Rowe with the spin move. Wow.
Yeah, nice move.
Wow. There's a great example of what Brandon Rowe can do. You know what I like about him, Steve? he just plays. You know, he's not a showboat. You know, he just goes out there and plays, and he has such a well-rounded game. Didn't convert on the free throw, but he did get South Warren to within 9. And that shot in there is good by Demarion Walkup. And here come the Spartans trailing by 11, 39-28, 3:10 to go in the third quarter. Mike Cleff and Steve Sanders with the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network. That's Andrew Goley handling the ball, being guarded by Cade Unseld.
It's a good look.
Yep. Unseld gets the defensive rebound. Gets it out to Villafuerte. Unseld. Nice spin move. Ooh, left-handed shot, no good, but Whitney's follow, no. It goes out of bounds. It's going to be Warren Central ball. That's the first time, Steve, that Warren Central, you felt like outside of the opening possession, had some good attacking on the offensive glass.
Right.
Yep. There is Glover. Ooh, he's going to go to the line for a couple of free throws.
Kind of slid in there and got that shot off.
You know, Steve, one thing that and I know he won't mind me saying this, you know, we mentioned that Brandon Rowe's dad, Marcellus Wiley, has been a long-time bus driver and a really good one with Warren County Public Schools. One of his good friends, and he's a long-time Warren Central, he's also a bus driver, Mark Haley. Mark's wife works in the front office, main office at Warren Central High School. Mark is the bus driver for a lot of Warren Central boys basketball away games. And Mark says every single player on that bus is incredibly polite, well-mannered. On their own, they pick up any trash on the bus. They thank him. And Mark says, I'm a fan of Warren Central anyway, but he said, I'm an even bigger fan, you know, after watching those young men interact. I just wanted to relay that story, Steve. I just really enjoyed
both coaches to have that level of expectation for their young men.
And, you know, I'll find out who drives South Warren to those games, and I'm sure it's the same way as.
And Walcup's having a good game for himself tonight.
I'll tell you what, Steve, he has been outstanding as he gets the follow there. And, again, Steve, you feel like South Warren's doing some nice things, and you look up, and now Warren Central's up 14.
Yeah.
It just shows how powerful the Dragons are. You just don't have any room for error. They're going to. And Coach Q thinks, Steve, I think that Coach Corals has a good beef there. I think the ball was, They're calling over and back, and Coach Corals thought a Warren Central defender got a hand on it, which would negate the call. Now the refs are communicating with him. And again, Coach Corals is not, And what I like, Steve, when he's not happy with the call, he makes his point, but he turns away and walks away.
And that's the way you don't get a technical and hurt your team.
Yep.
You know, they're working hard in this game. You don't want to hurt them.
Yep. Made his
point. I did too. I thought there was a lot of contact and a lot of, hands on that ball for it not to be fair game for everybody.
Yep. Now, Steve, after South Warren did a great job for a while on the defensive boards, the last couple of possessions, 3 possessions, there's a follow by Omari Glover, and it's 44-28. Again, it's relentless, the Warren Central defense. It's relentless. And their pressure on the offensive boards. Hope I say this the right way, Steve. I don't think Warren Central is necessarily a great shooting team from the outside. Now, I'm talking about great. They're good, not great.
Unseld's got a pretty good touch if he's feeling it.
Villafuerte's, but their offensive rebounding, and again, you mentioned South Warren did a great job on the boards for a while, but about the last 3 possessions, Warren Central's really attacked the offensive glass and converted. They just don't let up. And it's a testament to those young men and to Coach Unseld and his staff. They're so good defensively, Steve. There's the drive by Andrew Linhart. He's blocked by Walkup. Great block by Walkup. Gets it over to Villafuerte. Now it's Unseld inside to Whitney. Wow. Props to Whitney for getting the hoop and converting. But what a great pass by Cade Unseld. And I tell you what, Steve, I like Chappelle Whitney from the moment I saw him. I just like his game more and more. He is outstanding. Omari Glover gets the offensive rebound. There's Walkup, who Steve mentioned has had a really nice game. Villafuerte's three, no. And they're going to get a foul. Nope, they're just going to say the ball's out of bounds. 46-28, Warren Central leading. We have 1 minute and 1 second left in the third quarter. And there's a steal by Walkup. You're right, Steve. He's had a great game. He has had a great game, and Coach Q is going to take a timeout here. Steve, we'll keep it on the court. 54.7 seconds left, and the Dragons have now stretched it out to a 20-point lead, and I just
be careful at these moments.
Yeah,
and that's probably a really good timeout for Coach Q.
Yep. And again, I'm watching Coach Q in the timeout. You know, again, he's not a yeller and a screamer. He's going over things, but he's called those 2 timeouts when he sensed Warren Central could be going on a run, and that's what's happened. They just, you know, Coach Unseld, they play 9 players mainly. And I just think, Steve, the relentlessness, whether it's the full court press, the three-quarters press, half-court press, and defensively, they're so good defensively. Right. It exhausts an opposing team. Again, we know how things can be in the postseason when it's a one-game setting, but the Dragons look like they're going to be a force again in the postseason.
I don't imagine very many teams want to see them come up next on their schedule. No.
They're just
and unfortunately, South Warren does see them come up next on their schedule.
And Steve, I'll say it again. I think South Warren, as we mentioned, they have done a lot of really they've done a lot of really good things in this game, and yet you look at the scoreboard and they're down 20. And Spartans trying to get the ball across half court. Goalie falls down. This is going to be close to a 10-second call, but they get it across to Button, and his shot's no good, but he was fouled. He's going to go to the line for 2, and I think it's either Unseld's 3rd or 4th foul. It's his 4th. So 5 fouls on South Warren in this second half, 4 on Warren Central. Unseld wants to stay in the game. And Coach Unseld's keeping him in there with 4 fouls. Free throws no good. Unseld with the rebound. He saves it to Linhart.
Nice move. Yep. We still want to see South Warren fight. Yep. You know, we want to see them scrap, go for the loose ball, rebounds. You know, they're doing some good things tonight.
Unseld's 3-point attempt, no. There's Whitney. And the
Posey.
block, by Posey. And there's the steal by Whitney. Nice.
Euro step.
Yep, very
you
nice.
Just can't make that pass back across the middle.
Nope.
They are in the passing lanes all the time.
50-30, 6 seconds left. Gets it over to Rowe. Rowe will try a long 3. No. No, it goes in. Wow. Nicely done. He gets a nice bounce there. And Brandon Rowe gets the 3-pointer.
Wow.
So after 3 quarters, it's Warren Central 50, South Warren 33. We'll take a quick break. You're watching the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network.
Don't forget to pack 5 pairs of clean underwear.
Okay, Mom.
What's wrong with these? I think we're gonna need a bigger suitcase.
This is a Mingy moment.
I can't.
Have some Mingy.
This is a Mingy moment.
Welcome back to Warren Central High School. We're about to start the fourth quarter. The Dragons of Warren Central leading the Spartans of South Warren 50-33. Steve, interesting game, and again, a lot of positives for both teams, I think.
Certainly, yeah. You know, while the score is tough score for South Warren right now, listen, they're playing a very good team, and they've done some good things tonight.
Kate Unseld with the nice turnaround of the lane. It's 52-33. And Justin Posey's double
nice
team.
Pass.
Yep. There's Lynn Hart. And Lynn Hart gets it over to Button. Kicks it back out to Lynn Hart. And the Spartans will reset. Good defense by the Dragons. There's Lynn Hart with the three. Yes.
Nice shot.
52-36 after the three by Andrew Lynn Hart. 7:12 to go in the game.
Good defense.
Yep.
Because that was going to be an alley-oop to Whitney.
Rowe stops, pops, no. There's Unseld. Steve, I'm wondering, the scoreboard showed that Unseld picked up his fourth foul. As that, we talked about how good of a game Demarion Walkup has had. There's another basket. I wonder if Unseld might only have 3 fouls.
Right.
Regardless, he's stayed in. Posey will try a three. Of course, he hit a buzzer beater three to beat Barron County earlier this season. That one won't go, and the Dragons have the ball. They have an 18-point lead. Just under 6.5 minutes to go in the game. There's Chappelle Whitney. That's a basket. He's going to go to the line for a three-point play. Whitney is one of the Dragons seniors. A lot of these players, of course, were key players on last year's team that went to the state championship game as Whitney converts the three-point play. He's going to get a quick rest as Malik Jefferson comes back in. It's 57-36, Warren Central leading South Warren. And South Warren bringing the ball up court. Posey gets it over to Rowe. Goalie will try a three. It's short. Unseld with the rebound. And there's Villafuerte. Unseld kicks it over to Jefferson. They're so unselfish. That's Omari Glover down low. It's 59-36. I just love their unselfishness, Steve. And I have a feeling that's one of the first stats William Unseld looks at with his Dragons is how many assists they have as a team.
Right.
He loves that unselfishness. He emphasizes it. South Warren trailing by 23. They got it to 9 in the third quarter, had a chance to cut it to 7, but Unseld with a big block, and it led to a basket and a three-point play by Demarion Walkup, who you could make a case has been the Dragons' best player tonight. He's been really good. We're nearing the 5-minute mark left in this game. Mike Cleff, Steve Sanders with the Warren County Public Schools Sports Network. These two teams will see each other again on Friday. The shot attempt by Button, no good, and here come the Dragons. Villafuerte over to Walkup. He's going to try the shot.
Wow, he lost it, got it. You know.
He's feeling it, isn't he, Steve? Demarion Walkup is another Dragon senior. Here's Posey. No. And, Steve, what I've noticed is a lot of South Warren's three-point attempts are short, which means,
tired.
Yeah.
The legs are tired.
Yep. And, again, when you're facing that kind of pressure, your legs are just not going to be underneath what they are in the second quarter. So we have 4:27 to go in the ball game. 61-36 Warren Central. As Luke Smith checks into the game for the Spartans. They're going to call a travel. And want to thank the officials for their efforts tonight. Like Steve and I say often, we couldn't do their job, and we need officials, so appreciate their efforts. Warren Central leading by 25. They're going to go to 18-1 on the season. Wow, that's a nice drive by Malik Jefferson, Steve.
It is. Whew. All of a sudden, game's getting a little bit wider than I'm sure Coach Q would love it to be. It's just they've done their very best, and like you've said, Warren Central's just relentless.
Do you feel like they've just worn South Warren down, Steve?
Yeah.
Here come the Dragons. Jefferson over to Villafuerte, over to Wells. Again, that unselfishness. The passing is just exceptional. 65-36 Dragons. And no surprise, Warren Central has taken off the full court pressure. There is no way William Unseld is going to run the score up on any team, but especially a South Warren team coached by his good friend Carlos Corrals. Rowe will try the three. No. South Warren's going to retain possession. So, Steve, I think the last 3 minutes here is important for South Warren. You've got to feel like that they've got a chance on Friday. You want them to finish.
You want to set the tone to start the game on Friday.
That's Wells Bratcher down low. The pass there intercepted by Unseld. Unseld's done a nice job playing with foul trouble. That's Wells. Shot. No. There's goalie. And walk up. He's in the middle of it again.
His hands are everywhere.
And I think they're going to get a tripping call there on Andrew Goalie. He was going for the ball, and I think he accidentally got Walkup's leg. And Walkup will be at the line for 1-on-1 as that was the 7th foul against South Warren. Chappelle Whitney checks in for Villafuerte. Glover's checking back in.
I would expect to see Coach Unseld probably go deep in his bench soon.
I think so, too. Again, Steve, there won't be any secrets on on Friday. As South Warren gets the rebound. South Warren will be 14-3 after this game. Warren Central will be 18-1. And, of course, the Dragons are considered a strong contender for a state championship this season, rightly so. There's Linhart. The Spartans.
Coach Q's going to go to his bench.
Yep.
Give his kids an opportunity to get in there.
He sure is, and I think you'll see, I think Coach Unseld will counter. There's Walkup, taking it in strong. Yep, Coach Unseld's getting Caden Hammer in, and yep, he's doing the same thing. I wouldn't be surprised, Steve, if one of the coaches takes a timeout here to let the other guys to get his benches cleared. Linhart, three-point attempt, no. Ball stolen.
Good steal by goalie.
Yep. Goalie. And Rowe saves it over to Luke Smith. There's Rowe. Ooh. There's goalie taking it over and kicks it out to Linhart. Three-point attempt. Yes.
There we go. Nice shot.
Yep. And I think Coach Q was trying to get a timeout there. Now Coach Unseld might call it in. So we'll tell you some of these players checking in for Warren Central. Demetrius Barnett is checking in. He was, of course, a key player on the football team. Caden Hammer. Braylon Board's coming in. For the Spartans, Cameron Bell, number 24. We got one young man. I don't have his jersey number for South Warren, number 13. If we get it, I'll let you know. Ty Grogan is in. He wears number 12. Number 3 is Deshaun Bridges. And another one is number 15.
Who's number 13 for you all?
And number 15.
Yeah.
We'll find out those names. Number 13 and number 15. Okay. We'll try to get those names. Wow. That is Malik Jefferson with the flush. It's 69-39. There's Ty Grogan taking it up. That's a block by Malik Jefferson. Caden Hammer gets it over to Wells. The ball goes out of bounds. And hold on here, we'll try to get the name. Griffin Rard. Oh, yeah, he's wearing 13. Okay. And Rose, do you know number 15? Rose, do you know number 15? Number 13 is Griffin Rardon. We'll try to get number 15 when we get a chance.
Right. We just want to give these kids the opportunity to be recognized.
Jace Jarvis is number 15. So they're wearing different numbers than they had previously. We got those. Thank you very much for that help. Three-pointer, Johan Pratt. And also Jarrett Kirk is in the game. I think he just hit the three-pointer for Warren Central. So appreciate that very much. Number 12 in the game for South Warren is Ty Grogan. Number 13 is Griffin Rardon. At the free throw line is Deshaun Bridges. Number 15 is Jace Jarvis. And number 24 is Cameron Bell. For Warren Central, number 15, Caden Hammer's in the game. Number 12, Jarrett Kirk. Number 11, Demetrius Barnett. Number 25, Braylon Boards. And number 23, Johan Pratt. So it's 72-41 here in the final seconds. Warren Central's going to go to 18-1. South Warren will be 14-3. Great to see those young men who work so hard in practice and pushing the players who play a lot in the game here at the end. And, yeah, Coach Elmshill is just going to have them hold on to the ball. And that'll do it. 72-41 is your final score. Warren Central wins. Steve, what'd you think?
Well, you know, I don't fault South Warren. They made a great effort. You know, the last few minutes of the game kind of got out of hand a little bit. But the first three quarters, listen, these guys battled hard. The first half rebounding really was a strength for South Warren. They really showed themselves strong on the boards. You know, Warren Central's a handful. I think that Coach Q will, the Warren Central guys, could bear hugging him. Of course, they're all about 1.5 feet taller than him. He's my size. But, you know, I think they'll have a strong couple of days of practice here. And I think they look forward to a rematch on Friday. I look forward to seeing this rematch on Friday.
I do too, Steve, and I'll ask you, why, I'll give you my reason in a moment, but why are you looking forward to the rematch?
Well, I just, you know, good coaches are always looking for their teams to constantly be improving. And, you know, while, it's just 3 days, you know, both these coaches are extremely competent and they can do some great things in, 72 hours. And I would expect tomorrow's practice for South Warren to be intense, but intense for a reason. You know, Coach Q's a great coach. He's going to see some ways to make his team perform better. I still think Coach Unsell's probably going to be working some rebounding drills tomorrow. His kids got out-rebounded, especially on the offensive end. You know, they were one shot and done, one and done on the offensive end for most of the first half, and that's not the way they want to operate.
Superintendent Rob Clayton went over to give some words of encouragement to Carlos Corals. I know that Mr. Clayton thinks very highly of him. And, you know, Steve, I think I noticed it late in the third quarter, that point. I thought that South Warren just got physically worn down by Warren Central's
relentless.
Yeah.
They are relentless. On top of being extremely talented also. South Warren's talented. You know, Warren Central just plays a different style of defense. They're very aggressive. You know, it's just something that I think now that South Warren's seen it, I think Coach Q's got a couple, 2-3 days of practice. I'm excited to see what happens on Friday.
And I am too. And Steve, if South Warren, put it to you this way, I don't think it'll be a 31-point margin again on Friday if South Warren shows the resiliency that they've shown this season.
Right. You know, they still left about 10 points on the shelf that were close in layups or, 3-foot or under shots. So, I was thinking about that into the third quarter when the lead was got down to 9 and 10 points. You know, that very well could have been a tie game if some of those shots would have gone in.
Well, Steve, on the Warren Central side, I'll say this. Chappelle Whitney had a nice game. I thought their best player tonight was Demarion Walkup, number 0.
No doubt about it.
He had a really nice game.
He was active on both ends of the court. Absolutely.
And Malik Jefferson, number 2, did some nice things. Of course, Kate Enseld did. But Steve, again, I think this shows how really, really good Warren Central is when we talk about who played well for them tonight. We're not talking 1 or 2 players.
Right.
We could run down 4 or 5. And again, you can pick so many aspects of this Dragons team that they're really good at. Their defense is not just the full court pressure, their half court defense.
No, they actually backed off of that as soon as South Warren handled it. You know, they still trapped a little bit, but not nearly what we saw against Greenwood. You know, Greenwood wasn't handling it very well because their starting backcourt was out. And so, you know, it was like sharks in the water smelling blood. But tonight was a different story. They were forced to back up a little bit and relax that pressure a little bit.
And Warren Central is such an unselfish team on offense, and they do such a nice job passing, not just in the half-court offense, but when they're in transition. So, Steve, Thursday we will have swimming from the Aquatic Center. We'll let you know on the time we'll be on there. And then Friday we'll be over at South Warren for a girls-boys basketball doubleheader. The girls' game will have the Lady Dragons visiting the Lady Spartans. Steve, I say this partial in jest and part serious. I'm surprised that Lane Embry hasn't asked us to join them for every game because they've won every game.
Undefeated.
They are. And then, of course, we'll have the rematch in the second game between the Dragons and the Spartans. Steve, it's been a blast again. I'll let you end it tonight.
All right. Well, here we are at Warren Central. A great ball game. Again, Warren Central continues playing at an extremely high level. Again, unfortunately or fortunately, whichever way they're looking at it, South Warren's next up on the schedule. We appreciate everybody joining us tonight from the home of the Dragons, and hope everybody has a good night, and hope everybody tunes in to see a great game again on Friday. 2 great games again on Friday. Have a good night, and we'll see you then.